As Tommy Fleetwood now is getting ready to tackle this tricky third shot, which is nearly up level with the second tee.
Well, Fleetwood.
Yeah, in fact, Daniel, he is beyond the second tee here. That one wasn't just a little miscue. That one flew a good 10-15 yards past this pin on the fly, caught the downslope on the back left of this green. Ian Finnis, his bag man. Good stick in his own right, has handed him the putter. I think this is a good play, but there is a lot of fringe to get through here, and it is uphill into the grain quite substantially, so it's all going to depend on how it goes through that, whether it bounces or bobbles. But once it gets on top, it's all downhill from there. This one has got to slow down if it's going to stay on the fringe. That one might even go off the front.
Yeah, we saw JB Home was not quite as far back as Tommy Fleetwood, but pretty much same result. Almost no way, without a little luck, to get that ball close at all.
Yeah, I'd have to imagine the only way to get it close would be to pitch the ball, and then again, you're taking such a risk of misstriking it and having the ball wind up right back at your feet again. You need that ball to be skipping through that fringe with some spin as it gets on the surface. And they're eliminating the double, perhaps, by using the putter. But makes it very difficult to control the speed enough to be able to salvage par.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about this golf course. It resembles the sand belt of Australia, some links courses, but it's a different grass, this Bermuda grass. So
completely different, yes.
A player like Tommy Fleetwood, who's played a lot of links courses, maybe not a big advantage?
Visually, perhaps.
Now Fleetwood for par.
All uphill the entire way to the hole here. Can be a little bit aggressive with it, but that one's coming up short, and I think when he saw where that ball was, he was always accepting of a bogey.
Yeah, does not, obviously not pleased with that, but at the same time, he knew he kind of knew he hit it too hard. Tommy's going to go ahead and finish here.
Yeah, Carney, there's some places around this golf course and around these green complexes where realistically you just can't hit it, and that was one of them.
Certainly a disappointing bogey for Fleetwood, but we'll head to a second hole, which is a par 5, and after a really nice approach from SungJaeIm, great look at birdie here.
I took a good look at this one, Carney. There's not a lot in it. Really, you couldn't place it in a better position, putting straight up the fall line.
Caddy pointing out a spot. Appears to be
another one of those guys that likes to use the line on the ball. Yeah. Sorry, Carney.
No, it looks like his caddy just pointed to a spot just right of the cup.
I think if you were going to favour anything, it would be just very, very slightly from right to left. I had it inside right and a little firm.
So to continue the momentum. Well done there for SungJae. So 11.
Perhaps a fraction. Now SungJae.
Slightly different wind direction today, a little bit more from the west. This one playing a little bit more downwind yesterday, this one a little bit more crosswind. Let's let this one fly. It starts up the right-hand side. Wind should push it back onto the fairway.
I think fans sort of correlate a fast swing with power. That's a swing that's not over, at least to the eye, not fast, but creates a decent amount of power from SungJae.
Deceptive because the backswing is so deliberate.
Now Tommy Fleetwood.
Don't estimate the stature of Tommy Fleetwood. Might be small in stature, but this boy can definitely move at a lot of rotational speed. And this one a beauty here for Fleetwood.
So we're away at the par 5 second. Featured group coverage here on PGA Tour Live. And back at the first hole, second shot for Chris Baker. Chris qualified for the U.S. Open on Monday.
Chris Baker was a part of the Monday qualifier for the Valspar Championship with Michael Wysocki and myself.
Really?
That basically brought Wysocki that little bit of fame. The needle.
No, back at the first, Robert Garrick. No, that's Robert Garrigus, I believe. Nice effort from the sand on the right.
Good pickup there. That is Robert Garrigus.
You know, when you've been covering golf for 16 years, and I'm not patting myself on the back, but you know, obviously I do both PGA Tour Live and PGA Tour Radio, and Fred Albers, one of our announcers, is always amazed that I can pick out these guys from like 200 yards.
Disturbing, I would call it.
Yeah, probably.
Not amazed.
That means I'm either working too much.
Yes, exactly.
Or I have nothing else to do.
Yeah, how many of them would you pick out without their golf hat on, though? That would be the good test.
See, to me, it's the swings and how they walk.
Yeah. There's definitely some unique walks out there, I'll
Yes.
give you that.
Now, Chris Baker from just off the front edge. You've seen a few players employ that Bryson DeChambeau type grip and style.
That very upright, locking it up against his left forearm.
Is that all a matter of just keeping your wrist out? What do you see as the benefit of that?
Well, when you lock the arm in to the putter, what you're doing is you're creating a rocking motion with just your shoulders. So you're creating the pendulum motion higher up in your body. So if you grip the club with your hands, yes, you want to rock your shoulders, but the tendency is you can rock your hands back and forth. So you're trying to eliminate the smallest muscles from taking over in the stroke. You want the larger muscles, your lateral obliques, your shoulders. If you can use those to rock the club back and forth, it eliminates the twitch that some players will have, especially under pressure. Something for all you players out there that maybe have some nerve issues when it comes to the putting. Try to use the bigger muscles to rock that putter back and forth. Your lats, your shoulders.
Yeah, nice par save there after coming up short, so Baker will stay at +1. I've threatened to go to that putter.
I hate to see the younger kids. My son today, he's 11 years old. Shout out to him. He's going to be out there, the drive, chip, and putt just down the road in Daytona Beach. But you see some of the younger kids out there employing saw grips, cross-handed, whatever. You need to save those for later in your career. I keep trying to tell them, because you run out of grips very quickly.
Now here's something on the other end. Robert Garrigus, without question, the shortest putter on tour.
Looks like he's using my son's putter. Yeah, lengthwise.
Now over to the second for SungJaeIm at the par 5.
Yeah, this on its way here from 266 for Im. Definitely the 5-pad to get it there, but as Daniel mentioned, this is one heck of a tricky green to hit and hold, and a very tricky pin position today. And that one there for SungJaeIm looks like it's going to hang on just on the back left. That is going to be a tricky putt from there down towards that back right pin location today.
Yeah, TommyFleetwood set to go.
Yeah, Carney's got 257. I think the place to try and miss it here, if you're trying to, would be into that front right trap. Give yourself a chance. He has pugged that one. Yeah, he's got a very good lie here. He's just got to really fly it on top of that little slope and let that just trickle down to the pin. And that one, a very nice shot there from TommyFleetwood.
An opportunity for a bounce back. Birdie there after the bogey at the first. Colin, looks like this third shot for SungJaeIm would be like walking down a staircase.
Yeah, this one is a beauty here. I got up here and took a good look at it. Basically just trickled off the back left edge of this green. He's got a little bit of influence off the mound where he's going to be standing, but then it goes down through a little valley that's going to want to kick it from his right to left. And then you can see where he's down there now. Then it's got another little brow where it's going to sort of be kicked off that back to the right, all downhill. Not as fast as we saw yesterday, the cloud cover so far this morning, just making these greens a little bit more tolerable. But if this wind continues to keep blowing the way it is early and that sun peeks through, they're definitely going to speed up. But this one for Im is going to be tricky.
And Daniel, we talked a little bit yesterday. Everybody mentions that 3-foot circle. From this position, what would you think SungJae's ultimately like to make it, but what is he trying to do here?
Well, yes, anything inside 3 feet result would be good from here, although that's not his goal, to finish inside of 3 feet. That would be a good result. He's trying to get that ball to finish as close to the center of that flagstick, which would obviously be in the hole, and he's judged that just perfectly.
Good call there, Colin. So Im will start with back-to-back birdies. Mentioned he shot 32 on his inward 9 yesterday to make the cut. Now, with 2 birdies in a row to start this third round, SungJaeIm all of a sudden moves to 1 under. And after pretty good play out of the sand here, Colin. Really good look here for Fleetwood to try to bounce back with a birdie here at the second.
Yeah, absolutely. He did well to get it to this point. Really just trying to get it over that ridge he's standing on there now. Ian Finnis, his caddy. May look like he was stepping all over his line, but just trying to get a feel for the slope of the green. This one's going to come from his left to right. Just got it started just a little too high. Always tough to hit those short ones outside the hole.
Yeah, so a little frustrated miss there at the par 4 first. Peter Uihlein for an opening birdie.
Yeah, coming from golfing royalty, you might even say, son of Wally Uihlein, CEO of the Acushnet Company, which creates the Titleist golf ball that he represents.
Yeah, that is a great start there for Peter, as we will head over to the par 4 third. SungJaeIm on the tee.
Yeah, this hole ticketed at 367, just 330 to the front edge. These guys will go very, very close to the front. This on a very nice line. That one's definitely working up to the front of the green. It may come back just a few paces, but a beautiful shot there from SungJaeIm.
And hole located there at the third back right. Fleetwood now back on the tee, Colin.
Yeah, like I said on the second hole, he is a small in stature, but boy, he can move it. 330 to the front edge of the screen. Downwind for the players today. And this one on a very, very nice line. A little bit lower in ball flight. This one might, when it lands, want to chase up towards the front of the green. There is a little bit of a false front there, so it'll come back a few feet, maybe a couple of yards.
They may have
that
rolled.
One looks like it might have got close to the front edge.
And it did come back. They may have rolled the approaches.
There's a very good chance that they have.
Dustin Johnson will go off at 1:50 p.m. local time as we head over to the second shot for Richard S. Johnson.
Yeah, my fellow countryman from Sweden, lives down in the West Palm Beach area. And has made the mistake of missing long here at the first, and that will be, as we've seen, extremely difficult to judge the speed as he crests the brow of the hill onto the green. Very steep slope off the back.
Yeah, we've seen a couple players over the back there, and no one has been able to get it up and down.
I think it's a little left. Yeah.
As we will head back over to the par 4 third in our featured group of SungJaeIm and Tommy Fleetwood. Colin, looks like SungJaeIm will play first.
50핀 슬롭 사진은 45.
Yeah, this one 53 yards for SungJae. It was probably at one point around about 47, rolled back a few yards to this point, but this pin perched way up on top tier here. They're going to probably try and land at 10, 15 paces short, and then just let it trickle all the way back to the pin. Right about there. Well, that one's going to end up a little further away. It's going to grab that slope. Hold on. Well, not bad, but I'm not going to say it was his best.
I would imagine he's not going to be overly pleased with that one. Maybe a little better angle for Fleetwood.
Yeah, a little bit better angle here for Fleetwood. That's a good look at his chipping action. Daniel was talking about it earlier, trying to use the bigger muscles. I know I employed that method with Jason with his pitching. He was pretty good at that, but that one also not Fleetwood's best. Good for length, but a little challenged in the direction.
As you can see, the first second shot for Robbie Shelton.
Fairly gentle opening hole here today. Most of these players will be coming in with some sort of a wedge for their second shot. And absolute beauty there from Robbie.
Oh, they can do it there. I know I was.
Well, you can't birdie them all unless you birdie the first three, and SungJaeIm, while not the look he wanted here, Colin, does have a look for 3 in a row.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I actually expected these boys both to put it a lot closer than that. I didn't think the pitch was that difficult. But he's got 13, almost 14 feet here for birdie. You can see that slope that he's standing on there is actually quite severe. So this ball will definitely move from his left to right. As you mentioned, 2 birdies, and he's opening 2 holes. Would love to make it 3 in a row. One never just the right pace, dying across the face.
Yeah, Dana, we talked about players having the line on the golf ball. SungJae has a line, but he's now from the right edge of the green. Tommy Fleetwood for birdie.
Well, coming from the opposite direction, we saw him miss a putt on his second hole from shorter range. But he won't miss this one. That one finds the bottom of the cup, and that's a birdie 4 for Tommy Fleetwood as they move to the up tee here at number 4.
Yeah, good birdie there for Fleetwood after missing back at the second, as we will head back to the par 4 first. Now Richard Johnson is third.
So employing the putter again, coming up and over the crest of the hill. And he's judged this much better, but that's still going to race on by and probably find the front portion of the screen. It is amazing how similar these pros. We'll see during the course of the day, putts, the players will miss putts exactly in the same spot. And that's 3 shots that we've seen this morning that have found exactly the same location from the same spot. And just goes
at the 4th.
Yeah, this hole hasn't been reachable for anyone in the field first 2 days, but this one up some 75 yards today. That'll make it reachable. And boy, look at this one. I'll tell you what, I could watch that all day. That just did not move more than a yard in the air.
Colin, you may want to tell them to hold up back at the tee, because they just rolled into the group of Josh Teeter and J.B. Holmes. Didn't hit him. And Josh Teeter trying to wave back at the tee to get SungJaeIm to hold on.
how are we supposed to know?
No one was hurt.
Yeah, they must have laid up and then they got a not so long.
They're hitting it backwards.
We had a 375 with a flint.
We have
Great move from the tour, moving the tee up,
And it spun up.
giving these players the opportunity
I was like,
of perhaps getting that on the two.
I mean, mine as well. It's 3-shot hole.
While those guys wait on the tee, we'll head back to the first. Richard S. Johnson for par.
Employing the side saw grip with his bottom hand. Now, Richard Johnson dropping a stroke at the first after that great opening round of 4 under par 67. Shot 5 over par yesterday, leaking oil, and has not plugged the leak, and goes to 2 over par.
Now, still chatting it up there over at the fourth. Mentioned SungJaeIm again, off to a great start on this Saturday morning with birdies at 1 and 2. He's played his last 8 holes now, 4 under.
I walked up to the group and I said, Tommy, Ian's the only one that would have been able to see him. He's that tall. This one is absolute beauty for him, down the right side, drawing back to the center. That one's perfect.
Calling out down the slope there. See if TommyFleetwood and SungJaeIm give it a go at 2 here at the par 5 fourth.
Andrew, a very good ball striker. So the only real question is how Andrew will be putting them. Okay, I'll stop.
That is funny. And next to play will be Adam Schenk. Players making the cut on the number at +1. There were 68 players at +1 or better. Uh-oh.
And that was fortunate to hang on to the back edge of the green. We've seen there's nothing but bogeys over the back of this. See just the speed coming down that hill, hard to control. Coming straight back up the hill. We'll have to be reasonably aggressive, get that ball to the hole. And he's overdone it, runs it by just a 1.5 feet or so. As you can see how quickly that ball came to a stop, gives you the perspective of how steep the slope there is from the back to the front.
I was going to ask you earlier, again, with the low round of the week so far, 6 under, do you expect a low round out there today?
Well, we're seeing, we saw the 4th hole, the tee being moved up. The tour is going to perhaps allow those players, through accessibility with the tee hole locations and tee placements, moving day. Typically is a Saturday.
Now Tyler Duncan.
See the marshal signaling down the right-hand side. Boy, the English indicates the same. And that will hang on to the right side of the fairway.
And with that whole location at the first front left, that could create some issue. That should be a comfortable pairing. Both those players live in the Jacksonville Beach area. Russell Knox will tee off there, but while he gets set there, we'll head back to the par 5 fourth. And the second shot of SungJaeIm.
Yeah, he's got 283 all the way back to the bucket here. A little bit of breeze in and off his right, slight downhill lie. I think he'll get this at least to the front edge. And that one's a low ball flight, hanging out to the right a little bit. He's got to be careful. There is water over there on the right. Ooh, and that one looks dangerously close.
That did find the penalty area. Whether or not it went in the actual water or not will remain to be seen, but doubtful that he'll be able to play his third shot.
Now Tommy Fleetwood.
Well, he's absolutely pumped this one down there. It's got 268 yards. Very narrow opening here at the front of this green. But I think that one also might have found the agua.
Yeah, that one definitely did. We saw a splash over there. And first tee shot for Russell Knox.
From Scotland, used to link-style golf, having grown up as a junior golfer over there, came over to the United States, went to college over here, and will be really enjoying the experience of Congaree. A lot of aspects of this golf course will bring back memories of junior golfing days and the ability to...
For Tyler Duncan, you heard there, but angle where he's got to be careful here, Daniel. Anything left is going to chase away.
Yeah, you got a very good view of it there. That whole location looks like it's sitting up on a little bit of a crown. And that's just absolutely perfectly below the hole, uphill putt.
Now back over at the fourth for Tommy Fleetwood.
Yeah, real unforced error there on the second shot. But a nice one here for Fleetwood. And that will have that for his par save. You really just can't help but think, waiting in the fairway as long as these guys are, that they lose a little bit of focus.
We watch SungJaeIm make this penalty drop.
And now the caddy will wait until it crosses the red line, and then he is allowed to pick it up, drop it again. And if it crosses, now he will have to, if it crosses the line again, he can now place the ball on the exact location where the ball made contact with the ground after the second drop.
40 커버, 47펜.
47펜.
47펜. 살짝 왼쪽.
왼쪽을 줘야 돼.
So similar to Tommy Fleetwood, SungJae will play his fourth into the par 5 fourth.
Yeah, Carney, he's really just got to land it up on top of that top tier. Let it take a couple of bounces, 2 or 3 bounces forward, let it trickle to the hole. And he nipped that one nicely. And he'll have that for his pass. We've got 2 of these guys with about 7, 8 footers for par.
Yeah, yesterday
Here
we
at the
saw him hit a
fourth.
couple of closer pitch shots that ran out, so that was well executed for him, leaving it below the hole. So both players a chance to possibly save their par here at this par 5. Good to see spectators out again. Gradual increase over the last few months of people able to attend PGA Tour events. Now second shot for Russell Knox at the first.
And this will be having to hang on. And again, so close to disaster.
And Shank was very much in that same position.
Yeah, it's amazing, Carney, how many times in the last 2 days we have said a par attempt here, and it's about 6, 7, 8, 10 feet from world-class players. These par fives out here are just really, really well-designed holes. You know, there's trouble lurking if you're just a hair off. A lot of these greens have shelves, pockets, runoffs, dips, valleys. You know, they're just tricky little par fives. And if you get a little bit out of position, you know, you really struggle to get back into position. I'm just really impressed with them. Even 70 yards up today with, you know, very reachable for these guys. You know, here they both have, you know, putts outside of 10 feet for par.
Yeah, this would be a pretty good par save here. Trying to keep that momentum going. Couple birdies early on for SungJaeIm. Yeah, gonna shake his head for sure on that one, Daniel, as we've talked many times.
We see both these players falling into that trap.
Fleetwood for his bogey. Deep. Obviously, both those players put it out to the right. Now there's a big slope on this green. A bunch of trees left. Was that just making sure that in their mind they didn't want to miss left with that second? As we head back to the first, Russell Knox for birdie.
And you saw Adam Shank from almost exactly the same position. Saw how fast it is coming down the hill. And Russell up to the task, rolls it up there, tap in range, stress-free par. Off to the par 5, second chance for him to try to get under par for the tournament.
On the front of the green, definitely do not want to miss this right. That would be an incredibly difficult chip. So I'd be looking to have this one about 10, 15, maybe 20 feet left of the pin and pin high.
Shot. Tommy.
Or you can just go up if you're TommyFleetwood.
Yeah, spectacular golf shot for Tommy Fleetwood. Yeah, a couple of bogeys, one birdie on the card.
Absolutely. What a great visual to have just before you tee off. And I tell you what, from back here at the tee box, it looks like it's almost in the hole. Now this one for SungJae heading out to the left. It looks pretty good for Wade. If it's not, it might come back a few yards. Just hold on.
And that one will hang on to the left side of the green there, so SungJae will have a look as we will head back.
Good morning. Welcome to the 2021 Palmetto Championship in Congaree. This is the 8:40 tee time. From Mission Viejo, California, Bo Hostler.
This is our second feature group for the morning. Bo Hostler will have the tee here at the par 4 first.
Bo choosing the driver. Can run out on that right-hand side, so just around about 300 yards up the right center of the fairway as this dog leg's slightly to the left.
Can't do it.
That there might just be in one of those lovegrass bushes.
On the tee, from Franklin, Tennessee, Grant Snedeker.
Yeah, had the matching glove with the shoes yesterday, but Going with the plain white one today, Daniel.
Yeah, fashion statement on Friday, all business on Saturday. As Snedeker tries to exclusively go right to left with his drive, and he's happy with that one up the middle of the fairway.
So those players off through the Wyndham Championship prior to the start of the FedEx Cup playoffs, as after a spectacular tee shot at the 5th, Tommy Fleetwood will tap this one in for birdie. He will go back to even on the day, +1 for the championship.
Couple of mistakes for Tommy today, couple bogeys, couple birdies, back and forth through 5, just a 1 par.
A pretty good effort there for SungJaeIm. Do you believe there is a distance? I mean, the stats obviously show it, but as a player, when you walk to a putt that's outside 20 feet or so, and we'll get back when we come back. Feature group coverage here on PGA Tour Live.